The results of this proposal to automatically register voters are fairly easy to predict. Since absolutely no one fails to vote because it's hard to register, if we increase the fraction of the eligible population which is registered to vote, our turnout statistics will look even more pathetic than they already are. Mr. Speaker, the concept of automatic voter registration is a good one, and doing it through MVC is better still, given what they make you go through to prove who you are and to prove where you live. But there are still certain flaws with the bill which could use some more attention and hopefully will get the deserved conditional veto. First, Mr. Speaker, we should make it clear that the MVC need not offer the ability to register to non-citizens. While the last section requires that the person offered the chance to register affirm that she is in fact a citizen, MVC routinely insists upon either a birth certificate or a naturalization certificate in conjunction with a driver's license application. A modest change in the language of this proposal to ensure that only citizens are automatically registered to vote, placing the onus on MVC rather than trusting the applicant, would go a long way to ensure the integrity of the ballot box. Second, Mr. Speaker, with a minor tweak in the language, we could further ensure electoral integrity by insisting that people vote only at the address which appears on their driver's licenses. Third, perhaps, Mr. Speaker, you saw the recent expose out of California, demonstrating that death is unfortunately no obstacle to voting. We could ensure against that sort of thing through the simple expedient of removing from the rolls any person who fails to renew their driver's license. While that story showed that the deceased voters were a bipartisan group while they drew breath, it's a fairly certainty that they voted straight Democratic after their death. Mr. Speaker, while this represents a good step in the right direction, we should take that next step too and make MVC the exclusive vehicle for voter registration. Instead of separate forms, just turn the MVC database into the voter registration list. Given the substantial ID requirements MVC imposes, fraud would become increasingly difficult, if not impossible. Finally, Mr. Speaker, now that we're essentially ensuring that every registered voter will have an MVC card, would it hurt so much to require that they show it? For that reason, Mr. Speaker, I move the bill back to second reading for the purposes of amendment.